Evera Voices welcomes you all for this evening's podcast with Kari Ehmer. I'm honored to welcome a lady who truly embodies what it means to be resilient, chiseled, with passion and purpose. And she's coming with loads of experience from the battlefield. She's a West Point graduate, a veteran of the Iraq War, and a mom of three who has spent over 20 years coaching youth athletes to perform at their highest level. Today, she's a confidence mindset speaker and coach and a co-author of the upcoming book in the world-renowned The Change series. She has taken the discipline of the battlefield and the sacred chaos of motherhood to develop the BE Bold framework, a battle-tested roadmap designed to turn I cannot into I will. Please welcome the powerhouse behind Kari Ehmer, speaking and coaching Kari Ehmer. Let's welcome our guest. Hi, I would like to see you.
Hello, how are you? Oh, sorry, my video turned off.
Yeah, I'm good.
Hey.
Welcome on the show.
Well, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, my pleasure. I'm so thrilled to know more about your journey since your training and how you're merging all your experience and how about your resilience and how you've chiseled and created yourself as you've rightly stated. Please say a few words about yourself before we jump into the questions. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, first of all, thank you so much for having me on as a mom, as an entrepreneur. Just as a woman, I really appreciate you bringing me on here. I know a lot of us are building businesses, and the more that we can build a community, the better that it is. So I just appreciate this so much. There's so much to learn from everybody out there, and I'm excited to share my story with you.
It's such a convenience today that we can connect from anywhere in the world. And I have to thank you for accepting my invitation and coming on my show because this is a platform for inspiring women by inspiring women because your story will create ripples and inspire people, youngsters who would like to understand what it is to be training in the military and going to a war. Let's begin from there.
Perfect. So you want me to start from
Yes.
talking about the military and going
Training.
to war?
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. So I graduated from West Point, which is the United States Military Academy. I was the 20th class of women,
Mhm.
and up to today, there's only 5,140 women that have graduated from West Point.
Wow.
So there's about 10% in each class, and it definitely taught me a lot about myself. I was the person who went there not knowing anything about the military. My first two roommates were military brats, so I felt like they knew everything.
Mm.
And I was learning a brand new language, a new place, a new everything, and came from a small town in Minnesota where, I was the top athlete. I was a straight A student. It was easy for me, and walked into West Point and realized that everybody there was a top athlete, a top student, so smart, so, so brave and all these things. And it was like, wow, it was so eye-opening to me. And it also was very humbling for me.
True.
Um, Probably the first time in my life that I actually had to stop and ask for help while I was there. I wasn't used to doing that as somebody that felt very capable, but it's probably been one of the best things as a leader, as a mom, as an entrepreneur, to learn to ask for help. It's hard to do for a lot of us. And especially as moms, a lot of us don't like to ask for help. But the more that you can realize that it makes you better, it makes you stronger,
True.
and it
True.
builds on everything that you have. It's not a downfall to ask for help. It's actually something that makes you stronger.
Absolutely. But, it's not easy to undergo military training anywhere. You've been part of the biggest and the most powerful military in the world and working with men all around you. It could be intimidating. And I mean, it's not easy to compete with men anywhere because of the physical stamina that we lack as women. how did you manage that? And what are the stressful situations that you had? After that, we'll go to Iraq. Yes.
Yeah. So for me, I actually kind of grew up hanging out with the boys. So for me, it was kind of a normal thing to be around the guys, to hang out with the guys. Part of what I learned through being an athlete growing up was how to talk sports, how to be in that community and be part of what a lot of the guys talk about. So
Right.
for me, it was that piece of it wasn't as bad. There's definitely challenges to it. Physically, the military academy was that part of it was not difficult for me. The military and the academic parts were the biggest struggles for me. Learning all about the military. I didn't come from a military background. I didn't have family that, you know, had showed me the way in the military. And it's definitely intimidating. I mean, even saying I grew up around the guys, like being 10% of the population, it's a challenge. And not everybody, even though women have been there for 20 years, they still aren't loving
Hmm.
that women are part of the military, that women are part of our training.
True.
Um, One of my classmates was the first in the first graduating class of Ranger School.
Wow.
Um,
Hmm.
so it's still so new having women doing all this stuff. Well, I should say we claim it's still so new, although women have been in the military and been on the front lines forever. We just don't talk about it, uh, which I always find very interesting.
Earlier I had a guest whose parents were in the British Army
Oh, wow.
for the Royal Air Force. So there is some connection happening with military all the time for me,
Yeah.
and coming from women, the stories are very inspiring. And it's not easy to survive in the military because you undergo seasonal weather changes and so many things are there, and you have to have long duration of separation from family. And how did you cope
Yeah.
with that?
The separation from family, I would say, is one of the most difficult things, but you also make a family with the people that you're there with.
Right.
Uh, you have to start relying on the people that are part of your team,
Yeah.
learn to trust other people, and the hardest part is you don't get that time to leave work, go home, and decompress. You're constantly on when you are, especially at war. Obviously, in
Mm.
a normal day-to-day military life, you don't have to be that constant on. But when you're deployed, it's a constant 24 hours a day, watching your back, seeing what's going on, not from your own people, obviously, but you just never know what's going to happen. And I think that mentally can be very challenging for anybody, for men and for women.
True. Let's go to Iraq now. I remember the Iraq War because that was the first big war, happening, the Gulf War. And
Yeah.
it was, I mean, those days we only had newspapers and little bit of the television, unlike nowadays where we can follow live events of the war, which is also very stressful for the world because the trauma can alter how we view our life. The environmental damage is extensive. So tell more about your Iraq trip. And I mean, like, it's not a trip, of course. How was how was it being there in the zone?
It was, I guess the best word I can use is interesting. To see a country. So I was a transportation officer, so we did logistics. We supported everybody with the food and water and supplies that they needed. So our job was to make sure that they had what they needed. And seeing kids on the side of the road, you'd be driving through the desert where there's nothing. You can't see a town for miles. I mean, we couldn't see a town anywhere around us. And
Yeah.
there's kids on the side of the road asking for food. And so it was very eye-opening. They obviously knew where our convoys were going to be. They knew when we were going to be there. And they would send the kids out to come and get food from us. And as we went on, then they would get on the vehicles, they'd take food from us, they'd take our water from us. Um, but to see that and then to walk into one of Saddam's palaces and see the money, the chariots that he had that were completely made out of gold, the money that was around there. I mean, it was just, you're like, how can a country have so much differentiation?
Mm.
And majority of the people are living like these kids that are out in the middle of nowhere with nothing. And yeah, so that part to me was just amazing. And we were right behind Third ID, so we were following into locations that had just been blown up. So coming in through towns that, were devastated and we initially were on an old Air Force base with all the windows blown out, and you could tell that people had been there not long ago. A lot of their stuff was still there. Um, so it's almost kind of, for me, it was kind of a chilling feeling to walk in and see those things that like, wow, this is real. This is not something that I'm watching on TV. This is not something that I can pass off as, oh, it's no big deal. I was actually there and people are involved in it. And that made it very real to me.
But you couldn't see Saddam Hussein there.
Say that one more time.
Could you meet or see Saddam Hussein? No?
No, no, that was so when I was there was when he ended up being captured a few months after I came back.
Okay.
Um, so it was it was definitely an interesting time to
Hmm.
be over there. And I had never and have never been to the Middle East other than that trip.
How was
Um,
your, I mean, like, how could you, let me rephrase it. Living in America and going into a desert with, like the heat of the desert, how did you adjust to that? And how many days does it take for you to adjust to that climatic conditions?
yeah, the heat was definitely, I guess I would compare it when we were driving in our convoys to putting a hair dryer in your face and just blowing hot air into your face. That's what I felt like when
Yeah,
we were driving down the road. Your water was constantly hot because you couldn't keep any
right.
ice. And so you were drinking warm liquids versus cold. We were staying at the time, I was there in the very beginning, so we were still staying in tents.
Hmm.
We didn't have showers. So it was a very eye-opening experience to me. It's always
Right.
interesting when people, especially in the US, don't want to use public bathrooms or don't want to they think things are so bad or so dirty. And I always look back to Iraq where, we were thankful to have anything. A
Right.
drop of water at the time to take a shower was um, so great. And to be able to have any kind of bathroom to use was amazing. And so it gave me a different perspective on life, not only for being in the war, but just for the things that we have and to be thankful for.
Yes. So coming back to US, you brought back the experience of the war and you have now turned it into your passion and purpose. So tell us more about your coaching, the Be Bold
Yeah.
framework.
Absolutely. So today, what I'm doing, and a lot of this does stem from my time in the military because I learned that I love helping people and supporting people, and that's what I want to do. That's what my passion is. So today, as a confidence and mindset speaker and coach, my mission is to turn the I can'ts into the I wills.
Yeah,
So I help people to bridge the gap between their current reality and their highest potential. I want people to realize that they can be anything that they want to be.
true.
And a lot of it is through our mindset that we need to be kind to ourselves and realize that we were put here for a reason. And if we can get to our highest potential through our own mind, that's the greatest thing in life that we can have.
You're doing what is coming naturally to you as passion. So, how do you see your participants and their journey when they begin with you and their transformation? How has it been to them as well as to you?
For me, it's the most rewarding thing that I can have probably next to seeing my own kids succeed. I do a lot of work with kids and with students and their families,
Mhm.
and to see how proud they are of themselves when they can make small changes.
Yes.
I just love, anytime I hear a story from one of my students or from one of the parents saying, today they went out and did what
Mm.
they've been visualizing. Today they went out and did what they said that they wanted to do with no holding back, with smiles on their face, no more, I don't believe in myself, I can't do this. To me, that's why I do what I do.
That's true. Like, see, I like your trajectory of life itself, because from war to becoming a mom and then to becoming a coach, you are taking it lightly, sliding down very beautifully. And because a lot of people, they will not be able to come out of a certain box, I've been
Yeah.
in military and I stay stuck in the military all the time. But you have literally taken it forward, and you're utilizing whatever you've learned there for the betterment of others. So tell something about your other passions. How do you spend your time, and how do you wind down between work and life, the balance that you create? What do you do? What are your passions?
Yeah, absolutely. So my passions, one, I love yoga.
Hmm?
I love sports, all different types of sports. I love being outdoors, doing anything, hiking, just being outside, walking around the block with my kids.
Right.
And obviously, I spend a lot of my time with my three kids that I have, uh, being a taxi and doing those things, which is not my passion, but being with my kids and my family definitely is one of my passions.
So like you're a very engaged mother from the first uh, meeting that we connected. You're being like how you are as a mother and mother to the kids, and see that portrays you as someone who's vulnerable, powerful, strong, yet soft. That is yeah, that's wonderful. And what do you see yourself doing in the future, in the coming years? How do you want to spend your time, and what are your plans? And are you planning to write a book about your journey? How you want to take it up forward?
Yeah, absolutely. So my goal for the end for through 2026 is to impact 10,000 students.
Hmm.
So to be able to reach 10,000 students with the work that I'm doing and make a difference in their lives. I am writing a book right now, and I will be a co-author in the book called The Change, which is the number one personal empowerment book series right now. So
Okay.
that'll be coming out with my chapter this summer. So I'm very excited about that.
Is it like
And
anthology, or you're co-authoring with somebody?
I'm actually co-authoring. There will be 20 of us. So there's 20 chapters,
Okay.
and each of us gets to tell our story. And everything is about personal empowerment and how to help people lead a better life, be the person that they want to be. So to me, it just made sense because that's exactly the space that I want to be in.
Yes.
And to share the space with other people that are doing it just makes it even more powerful.
That's true. That's wonderful, because I think I mentioned it to you, but let me repeat it again. At the end of 2026, you're going to be in one of my chapters. Like, I'm writing a book on my guest of 2026. And so you will have your chapter. And of course, we will discuss that again. And it is really nice. But how do you train these students online, or do you go there personally? How long does it last, and what are the measurements that you are looking for? What is the result that you're, how do you measure it?
So I train both online and in person. I love doing stuff in person where I can, really get the feeling and the energy from them, but I know I can't reach everyone if I do only in person. So I
Mm.
do stuff online as well, and I do anything from one-on-one training to small groups to large keynote speaking at schools, and at different types of events. Um, so the way that I measure, it's probably not as precise as it should be.
Yeah.
Um, but seeing the
Oh,
difference
see,
in,
you are very humble, but let me tell you one thing. I used to be a trainer also. I'm a coach. I'm a mentor coach. We take the same lessons to reach about 10 people, but not all of them are receiving it in the same length that we say. So the results can't be same. So the measurement itself is flawed, according to me, because a dog can learn a trick differently from a cat. And putting them as a whole like a cattle, that is where training fails. So if you don't look for that result, if you don't look for the measurement, because somebody will take it, emotionally intelligent people are different from IQ, so their receptions are different. Like how you receive a topic and how I receive a topic will be very different. So how can we have the same result? This is where I think even education fails,
I agree with you.
because we have to have options. Like, okay, uh, I want to see this talent. Show it to me in whatever ways you want. That's how we should approach it. Sorry.
Yeah. Oh, no, not sorry at all. No, I appreciate that. I agree with you completely, and that absolutely every person is so different. Every student that I work with is so different. To me, bringing any type of happiness and growth
Mm,
to the students, that is my number one goal. It doesn't need to be that I can say, oh, they won four more tennis matches or they won a sporting event, they got straight A's in school. That isn't, none of those things define them. And that's part of what I teach them as well, that, your outcomes don't define who you are as a person. And so the part that I'm teaching them is all the stuff inside, which in my opinion isn't really measurable anyway.
yes.
So, but like I said, getting a text message from one of them that says, hey, I did this that I told you I was going to do, from a parent that says they tried something new today.
Mm.
Those are the things for me that make this successful, that make it worth it, that
Uh,
are what I measure, just knowing that people are happier.
the reason I became a trainer, I come from a very orthodox cultured. The region itself is, like everything is classical and traditional. So I put my daughter for dance. I put her for classical instrument, and she would come back doing nothing. And I used to sit and cry. Why did I have a child like this? Then one day she came up to me and told, I do understand that it pains you to see my results in the areas that you are allotting are not coming. You give me a chance, I will do what I can do, and I will give you the results that you want. So
Wow.
yeah, I trusted her. She was just 11 years old, and she chose the boarding school, which was giving everything. She joined, she went to a different country. We were in Malaysia at
Wow.
the time. She traveled to India at the age of 11. And trust me, in 1 year, she came with baskets and baskets of medals and cups. She was good in
Wow.
tennis. She was almost selected for the national bowling championship. She was a great swimmer. Everything, you name it, she did it.
That's
And
amazing.
so I thought I was flawed as a parent, because I was only trying to see me through her.
Mhm.
She is a personality of her own. So that is when I really started doing corporate training, which means like everybody is unique, everybody is different. And that's why my training, although it actually I give to the crowd, it is very individualized. I sit with them, I know what they need and what the company needs, and then we go through it. That's amazing. Like what you're doing is real. uh, I don't think we can be resting with one episode, but it has been very enlightening and empowering talking to you, because you have taken everything from your own life and you are knotting it up very nicely into a garland. Not many people can do that, because being in the military takes up a lot of energy, physically, mentally, emotionally, you know and it also prepares you for a resilient life ahead.
Yeah.
Is what you've got very nicely. And thank you so much for connecting. Anything else you want to say? I would be glad
Oh,
to.
I just want to say thank you so much. And I know
My pleasure.
it's so important, like that we both said we put family first. And I really appreciate you working around the timeline and everything else to make this easy for both of us and both of us
That's
as
very
moms.
important,
Like,
because One thing I see in today's corporate world is they just dismiss everything and ruthlessly they want performance. You cannot
Mhm.
perform unless and until you are at ease mentally.
Yeah.
And I will not be happy forcing you to leave the kids. That's why your breakfast or dinner, I have to plan around that. And it is, you have been very, very forthcoming from that moment we connected, which is it was very easy working with you and connecting with you and asking questions. So I also have to meet you halfway, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is my duty to do that. And you're more relaxed because you chose the time. That is very important for me, because Evara voices, Evara means God's gift. So you are a gift of God to be here with me. And I have to treat you like a gift myself. And I will connect back again to do the chapter about you, because I'm already hitting, I mean, like almost we are in April now, and that it'll zip up very fast. And then I'll be sitting and I think I should start writing. I should
Yeah.
begin. Yeah, I should begin. And I think I'll begin with you because it's very fresh. And then I'll go back and forth and finish everybody's chapter. And it is just great. And I hope this is just the beginning. We are planning on a global network connections so that, we can have retreats and we can meet. A lot of things can happen. Women.
Yeah, that would be
Yeah,
amazing. Well, I'm so
yeah.
excited to be part of this with you, and thank you for including me, and I can't wait to
You
continue this
are you are
conversation.
on it already. Okay. And my pleasure to have you here with me today. And I will be looking forward to having more conversations with you in the future, and to have more collaborations as well. And definitely when the network comes, you will have a big role in it, I'm very sure. It is not mine. It is global, means it's a circle. So in a circle, there's no starting point or an ending point. Everybody's equal. So that's how we have to treat it. It belongs to everyone. It doesn't belong just to me or you or anyone else. Everybody is equal. So when we come to that equality, then we can have a lot of things, inputs, like we can bring our expertise and everybody can gain from it. And we also learn. And then together we can create something for the world. That's the idea. Thank you
I
so
love
much
it.
for joining me on this. Yes, I would like to meet you in person someday. Uh,
Oh, that would be wonderful.
yes, we will try. And thank you so much. It was very enriching to hear from a lady who has participated in US military service. It's not easy. It is very intimidating. It is awesome and amazing life that you have led so far. And I wish you all the best for this year and all the coming years in the future. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right, bye.
Bye.